Good afternoon, everybody. The warmest of welcomes to the Oscar y Juan Galvez circuit in Buenos Aires in Argentina. Round number 8 of TCR South America is about to get going with the race number 1. That adds the curious fact that we'll have the inverted grid today, not tomorrow, for race number 2. Race number 1 is, which we'll have now, the starting grid reverted with Marcos Regadas, who was in 10th in qualifying today, leading the pack in the start of this race that will get going in a bit more than 10 minutes. It's a beautiful afternoon in Buenos Aires, a pretty sunny Saturday afternoon as we are on 4:42 p.m. in the Oscar y Juan Galvez circuit in Buenos Aires in Argentina. Matias Cravero scored pole position a few minutes ago in the qualifying session, as we have now the cars heading out on track for the race number 1, as there is Jose Maria Lopez, the Argentinian driver, joining Toyota Team Argentina in the second Corolla of the Argentinian outlet. The multiple world champion, 5 world championships under the belt of the Argentinian in a WTCC and World Endurance Championship. Marcos Regadas, the TCR trophy contender, has moved a handful of places ahead of his pursuers, as all the other drivers, all the other entrants, except for Fabio Casagrande, are out of the top 10 in the starting grid of this race. Casagrande is in 10th. Then we have Diego Gutierrez in the 14th, Marcio Basso in 15th, and Enrique Maglione in 16th overall. Pedro Cardoso, the standings leader, will start from the back row, row number 9, considering he changed the engine in his Peugeot from PMO Racing, and he has added 12 places to his starting position, plus 5 more spots that he carried from the previous round in San Juan. Also 12 places for Norberto Fontana, who starts from 18th at last position. 334 to 324, the standings difference between the starting off of this grid. As we have our reporter, Mariano Colombo. Matias Rossi, the multiple winner of the last weekend, is carrying 40 kilos. We are about to head onto the track also. Palladini Racing with some last minute work in Juan Angel Rosso and Jake Cosio in both, as both cars under some last minute work. We head on track with Pedro Cardoso, the Brazilian driver, and standings leader. Cardoso from PMO Racing. All the cars are heading on track. We will have a starting grid with a TCR trophy driver, as we said, Marcos Regadas. Here's Rafael Suzuki, the Brazilian driver from PMO Racing. PMO, a team that has absolutely mastered large part of the season. We are on board with Juan Angel Rosso now, on his way to the grid. We could also have a champion in TCR Brazil in this weekend as we are wrapping up the season. Reis, Cardoso, Rosso and Rossi, 217, 215, 211 and 191 in that order. That is Matias Cravero, who will start from 10th, but has set pole position a couple of hours ago in the qualifying session. The young Argentinian who broke into tears after speaking on TV following his pole position. Rafael Reis in here. Rafael Suzuki, the Brazilian driver. Cars are taking their spots on the grid. First place on the grid is Marcos Regatas. Here is Matias Rossi, expected to start on 6th place. We'll hear from Rafael Suzuki. Rafael Suzuki just finished his stock car race, changed his suits, and got now into the TCR trophy, TCR South America car. Well, this is an extra challenge, he says. But I'm used to do this. I did some laps to take use of the open box, so I'm doing fine, says Rafael Suzuki. And also we had Gali Dosman, for example, with a triple duties as his guest driver in TC 2000, one of the local series we have in Argentina that is sharing the weekend in a huge motorsport festival. He's taken part a few minutes ago in the Stock Car Pro Series race, and also now about to start in TCR South America. Norberto Fontana is here in the last spot on the grid on 18th, following the engine change we spoke about the engine swap for him. The same for Pedro Cardoso. Enrique Maglione received 5 places also, as he has changed the turbo in his car. And Cardoso, apart from the 12 spots, in a 5-place penalty added to this. This is the one we're talking about, Gali Dosman. Not 1, not 2, but 3 races in the same weekend. We'll hear from Juan Angel Rosso. You're starting in a strong position. Yeah, it's a nice place to start. Anyway, ahead of me I have very strong drivers, so I have to make a good start. Normally we do well in the starts, so we'll stick to that. We'll try to add any spots gained and see if we can have a better pace that we had in the previous races. We'll do the best, says Juan Angel Rosso, speaking to our pit reporter Mariano Colombo. As we're on board Pedro Cardoso's car, the Peugeot from PMO Racing. We said Pedro Cardoso starting from the back row. He'll have the whole picture ahead of him. some of the TCR trophy drivers sometimes are not so quick at the start, so Pedro Cardoso could start winning places right away. There is his engineer right in front of him. We have 18 cars. As we said, we have the second Toyota from Corolla, the second Toyota Corolla from Toyota Team Argentina. At the wheel is Jose Maria Lopez as the siren rings. Time to start the engines. As we have now added more cars, and we have 18 on the grid in this weekend. As we said, we have the Mexican debutant, Jake Cosillo, who has arrived from the stock car, the NASCAR Mexico Series, excuse me. So we see Matias Rossi. In the background, series promoter Felipe Magov. And we'll hear from Matias Rossi's car. It's him working with some pipe that seems to be with a leak. And see if Matias Rossi can start the race. And this is the number 17 Toyota from Matias Rossi. He is expected to start from Texas. Leonel Pernilla puts on his helmet, 49-year-old from Argentina, who has to his name one WTCC entry back in 2010 in Monza, scoring a point in his international debut. There's Gary Dosman's Cupra. He starts in second position, ahead of Marcos Regatas. Rafael racing the Cupra. This is the one we had on pole position, Matias Cravero, the youngster from Argentina. Marcos Regatas. On pole position, Juan Manuel Casella, the Uruguayan, the best ranked Uruguayan driver in the tournaments. There is the 18-car grid. Marcos Regatas, driver from a TCR Trophy Series. Car number 27 from PMO Racing, the only one that would still have to win a race, as the team has won with Rafael Suzuki. This man on screen with Leonel Pernilla, and of course with Pedro Cardoso, the standings leader. Juan Angel Rosso on screen. He starts from a second row in fourth place with the Toyota from Palladini Racing, ran by himself, his family. W2 Pro GP starts in third row as well with Rafael Reyes on that car in that number 77 Cupra. Matias Rossi's hood is now closed. We guess he's in conditions to start. Communications chief at the background of the series, Santiago Ripardo, leading a hard-working staff back in South America. This is Juan Manuel Casella, the Uruguayan, and we are ready to start the formation lap. Regadas on the left, Osman on the right. We'll see who makes it first into the first turn. We'll have now the formation lap undergoing. Formation lap undergoing. And Matias Rossi didn't start. The number 17 Toyota will drop back to the bottom of the pack. Jose Maria Lopez about to make his debut. And we'll have a look at the starting grid right now, with Marcos Regadas starting on pole position for PMO Racing in the Peugeot. Then we have Gali Dosman in second place for W2 Pro GP in the Cupra. Car number 8 of Rafael Suzuki from PMO Racing starts in third place, ahead of Juan Angel Rosso from Paladini Racing in fourth position. Fifth place for Rafael Reis, the W2 Pro GP Cupra, teammate of Gali Dosman, and also from Marcio Basso. Matias Rossi was expected to start in sixth position with TTA Racing Toyota Team Argentina. Now Squadra Martino in seventh with Juan Manuel Castella on board, the Uruguayan, followed by Leonel Pernia on the Peugeot of PMO Racing in eighth. Matias Caravero making his debut last round, car number 38. And Fabio Casagrande rounding off the top 10 in the Honda of Squadra Martino in TCR Trophy in second place. Thiago Vivacqua starts in 11th for Cobra Racing Team. Behind him is Jake Cosio, the Mexican rookie for Paladino Racing. Jose Maria Lopez, illustrious guest for this race, in 13th on the grid. Later is Diego Gutierrez for Paladino Racing in 14th in car number 73. Marcio Basso with the last Cupra W2 Pro GP, followed by Enrique Maglione from Squadra Martino, the Uruguayan title contender in TCR Trophy. Pedro Cardoso, the standings leader, in 17th. And then in 18th, wrapping up the standings, is Norberto Fontana on the starting grid. As we'll now get going. Green flag will wave in the background with Matias Rossi out of contention. Green flag waving. And the lights will go on in red. And we go racing in Buenos Aires. Gali Dosman trying to take the lead from the outside. Regadas with an irregular start. Rosso jumps into second position. Regadas drops to third. Rafael Reis will go as Rossi starts from the pit lane. It's Rosso leading on the outside. Osman going in the inside and keeping the lead. Rosso goes a bit long, and it's Rafael Suzuki jumping into third place, trying to attack. Oh, Reis is off. Rafael Reis is off, and so is, I think it's Fontana or Casella in the background, as it was actually Norberto Fontana, I guess, going wide in turn one, as we have now in the lead of the race. Car led by Gali Dosman. That's Pedro Cardoso already trying to make up a few places. It's Rosso leading from it's Rosso in second place, leading the pack, as Dosman has certainly pulled away in the early meters of the race. 30 minutes plus one lap is what we have today. And here is Enrique Maglione in the car from Squadra Martino. We're about to complete the first lap of the race. And we'll make up the order. Gali Dosman is in the lead. It's Rosso in second. Cravero jumps into third. Regadas falls down to fourth. Casella in fifth. Vivacqua remains in sixth. Cosio made up a few places and is in seventh. Lopez is in eighth place. As Diego Gutierrez is slowing down. Pernia and Casagrande rounded up the top 10. Pedro Cardoso, he's already up into 11th. Ahead of Fontana, Rossi, Basso. Rossi lost a few places and it's recovering already. Marcio Basso, Rafael Suzuki and Rafael Reis. As we have Maglione yet to complete the lap. Reis managed to rejoin. That's a long break. Oh, a contact. Contact. I think it's Leonel Pernia who was hit by Casagrande. If I didn't see wrong, will correct. If not, there is Pernia chasing Norberto Fontana. Already dropping. This is the contact with Rosso and possibly Pernia touching Reis. We'll see. And that's a very, very late break-in by Fabio Casagrande, hitting Leonel Pernia. That was a really poor break-in, long break-in by Fabio Casagrande, hitting Leonel Pernia, who lost 2 places. As Casagrande drops down a bit, and Maglione with some trouble in his car. Gali Dosman is leading the race. We have Rosso in second, Cravero is in third, Regadas is in fourth, Casella is in fifth, Vivacqua, Lopez, Cosio, Cardoso and Fontana. The top 10, there's Casella going into the inside of Regadas. He had to step over the brake. It was a really risky move. Yes, Cravero keeping third place from Juan Angel Rosso. Cravero overtook him, I'm correct. Cravero overtook Juan Angel Rosso for second place. And this is benefiting Gali Dosman. It's Matias Cravero now ahead of Rosso. Diego Gutierrez about to be lapped by Gali Dosman, the leader of the race. Long gap already to Juan Angel Rosso in second position, and Cravero, who will take second by the end of this lap. There it is. Osman, Cravero now in second, Rosso in third, Regadas remains in fourth, ahead of Casella, Vivacqua, Lopez and Jake Cosio, Cardoso and Norberto Fontana. Rounding off the top 10, Pernia is down in 11th, Rossi up in 12th, Casagrande, Basso, Suzuki and Rafael Reis. Diego Gutierrez about to be lapped. We'll see if Osman can make any difference, can take any advantage of this. Gutierrez already lets Osman past. And now he'll have to stop. Oh, he was almost stopping Cravero. And now he will have to move aside. There he is, overtaken by Rosso, by Regadas, by Casella. They are going now into the toboggan slide. As the cars are breaking into the hairpin where Diego Vivacqua goes through the back marker. Diego Gutierrez and Jose Maria Lopez is already at the back of Vivacqua, chasing him for 6th place in the standing in the order of the race. We have another lap completed. Jose Maria Lopez moves ahead of Vivacqua. Very, very good move by the Argentinian. Casella going into the inside, trying to overtake Regadas. And I'm sure Jose Maria Lopez and Jake Cosio will catch. And Vivacqua will catch Regadas sooner than later. They are taking the entry to the next turn. Diego Vivacqua in 7th now after being overtaken by Jose Maria Lopez. 23 minutes remaining. That's the break-in. Jose Maria Lopez in the Orquilla hairpin. Fontana going through, overtaking Cardoso for 9th place. Battle for 9th between Fontana and Cardoso. Behind them was Leonel Pernilla. Casella is up into 4th, overtaking Regadas. Lopez will be soon at the back of Marcos Regadas, already having some pace in the Toyota. That's the overtaken. Go on board with Cardoso. Cardoso going through the dust, braking and taking the hairpin in a 9th position, chasing the back of Jake Cosio, the Mexican rookie, who is keeping everybody behind. And Cravero is now chasing Osman for the lead, 0.3 of a second. Good pace in the Honda Squadra Martino. Osman leading the race, but Matias Cravero is on him. Cravero who managed to make up of many places, apart from scoring pole position. So he might score a podium today, and will start from pole tomorrow in the traditional race with the Gredas. Lopez is ahead of Cosio, who has, Matias Rossi has overtaken Jake. He's about to overtake Cosio. Rossi is in 3rd, followed by Casella. Regadas remains in 5th so far. There's Casella, here comes Regadas. Then Lopez, Vivacqua, and Cardoso, who has overtaken Jake Cosio. Osman leading by just 0.5 of a second. 4 seconds almost to Rosso. Casella is in 4th. Regadas remains in 5th place. As Jake Cosio has dropped down to 12th place. Behind Cardoso, Fontana, Pernilla, and Rossi, who overtook him. Juan Angel Rosso is there in 3rd place, but Casella is attacking, resisting, trying to make up some positions as we have closed the first third of the race. Casella attacking Juan Angel Rosso for 3rd place. A really decent performance by Rosso and Casella, both challenging for a podium. Oh, Lopez is off. Jose Maria Lopez is off. We'll see what happened with the Argentinian master. Osman and Cravero, also Rosso. Pernilla touching the edge of the track. We'll see how many places were lost by Jose Maria Lopez. And coming towards us is Juan Angel Rosso. Moving out, leaving the last turn. 0.7 of a second added by Osman and Cravero to Juan Angel Rosso. Casella remains in 4th. Regadas in 5th. As Jose Maria Lopez dropped back to 12th place. He struggled with some transmission problems. Oh, Cosio and Rossi side by side. Matias Rossi, Jake Cosio and Thiago Vivacqua the outside. There is Cosio, the Mexican, being overtaken. Attacking Matias Rossi. Here's the replay. Lopez ran wide. He has no signs of being touched by anybody. This is the replay of Norberto Fontana spinning off, running wide. Nine laps completed by Gali Dosman, 0.6 of a second over Cravero, 5.4 seconds over Rosso. Rosso is 0.6 ahead of Casella. As Marcos Regadas still survives in 5th place. Cravero there. Cravero in 2nd, followed by Rosso. But Cravero putting loads of pressure on Gali Dosman. On board with Juan Angel Rosso. Rosso coming out on the main straights. Regadas manages to keep the pace. .120.0 as the leaders on 119.5, 119.9 for Rosso, 19.7 for Casella. Pedro Cardoso is getting closer to Regadas. Manuel Casella attacking Rosso. Interesting battle between these two for 3rd place. Casella managed to recover a bit the pace. TCR Trophy standings is led by Marcos Regadas ahead of Paso Casagrande. Podium, Gutierrez and Maglione will be behind. Marcos Regadas is in 5th, still in 5th place. Casella remains chasing Rosso. Here's Regadas leading TCR Trophy by a handful of places. As José María López manages to get back into the top 10 after overtaking Thiago Ivacua alongside Rafael Suzuki. This is Diego Gutierrez running wide in the 2nd last turn. Keeps leading by half a second over Matias Cravero. Juan Manuel Casella chasing Rosso for 3rd place. Regadas in 4th, in 5th resisting. Pedro Cardoso trying to close down the margin on his teammates. Leonel Pernia is in 7th place ahead of Rossi. Jake Cosio and José María López. 3 Toyotas altogether. Have the 2nd, the 3rd, 4th and 5th on screen. As here Osman managed to pull a little bit away from Matias Cravero. Cravero possibly trying to clean a bit the air and pull down his car. Dosman in here, Cravero in 2nd. We are entering the last the second half of the race. I mean, Gali Dosman, as you can read on screen, they are in very, very similar lap times, lap after lap. 119.2 in the last lap. So they're increasing the pace. Osman resisting in the lead of the race. Cravero closer than ever. Cravero trying to start the first attacks on the Cupra. This is a really thrilling race in Buenos Aires. Completely unpredictable for the lead. Osman leading, but Cravero is already attacking. Osman making some defensive moves. Cravero wants to go side by side to the Cupra. Still, Osman is leading ahead of him, but Cravero will try whenever. He will try to make the move for the lead. Juan Angel Rosso with a napkin in the neck, hoping for some contact between these two. Resisting ahead of Casella. Regadas in fifth. Still resisting over Pedro Cardoso, who is now pulling away from Pernilla, but is getting closer and closer. Is now coming out on the main straights. There's Osman. Last 11 minutes of the race. Gali Osman is leading ahead of Cravero. Cravero tries to put it side by side. Osman still leading ahead. Cravero with no glimpse yet of giving up on the lead. Cravero moves close but cannot attack. Rosso and Casella remaining third and fourth. Osman leading the race yet. Last 10 minutes of this race. Osman and Cravero leading. Rosso remains there. Farther down, Rafael Reyes overtook Vivacqua for 12th place. Juan Angel Rosso is still holding on Casella from third place. The Uruguayan trying to attack the Argentinian on the outside. Rosso keeps the inner line, and Casella wants to change the line and see if he can produce out something in the following turns or in the braking. There is Casella. As here Cardoso attacking on Regadas. Pedro Cardoso, oh, he had to dive into the inside and overtake his teammate who was on the middle of the track. Risky defense of Marcos Regadas. And now Rosso. But that's what Cardoso needed, to not lose any time with Regadas. There's Gali Osman on the slide. Regadas comfortably leading TCR trophy. He has no less than 8 cars between him and his second placed in TCR trophy, Marcio Basso. That's Gali Osman, the 38-year-old Brazilian. .38 years old for Gali Osman, leading the race. Matias Cravero in second. Rosso stays in third, ahead of Casella, and this is the point of view of Cardoso. Osman now pulling away a bit from Matias Cravero. As if the Argentinian had any trouble. Yes, Osman has pulled away a little bit in the second sector. The gap was 0.8 of a second. Two-tenths of a second were gained by Osman in sector 2. They are now completing lap 17. Here are our two leaders, Osman and Cravero. Third place still in the hands of Juan Ángel Rosso. Juan Casella was next to him. Here it is, Rosso in third, ahead of Casella. Cardoso in fourth position. In fifth is the title contender and standings leader, who is taking advantage yet of a little bit of less space from Juan Ángel Rosso to make his race and see if he can get closing down on Casella, which would be helpful for Pedro Cardoso's title quest, and also for Casella would be nice to reduce a few points onto the Brazilian. Thiago Vivacqua coming here in 13th and alone. There's a car that went into the pits. We could hear from our perspective who exactly was. Casa Grande is the leading the pack here behind Maglione. Here is Osman, 119.7 against 119.5 was the last control. 19.7, 19.5 for Cravero, 20.1, 20.0 for Rosso and Casella, 19.8 for Pedro Cardoso, 20.1 for Regadas, 20.2 for Pernia, 21 for Matias Rossi, 20.1. Matias Cravero keeping Osman under a second of gap, but cannot produce the attack to overtake the Brazilian. In the last 5 minutes of the race number 1. Osman closing the lap, and it's now time to go into the 20th lap of the race. Casagrande seems to be with some trouble. Fabio Casagrande is not okay. I think he's watching it. He's looking at something in his dashboard. Possibly the Brazilian dropping terrain in TCR Trophy. Also Rafael Suzuki moved up over Jake Cosio. It's Casagrande being overtaken by the rest of the pack. Lapped. Might have been looking into the mirrors to let by the leaders instead of into back marker. Slow back marker, and then David Osman is here leading by 1 second already over Cravero, but this is not over yet. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, Cravero might have a little bit remaining to go for a last minute attack. Breaks in the hairpin, comes out into the main straight to close another lap, the fastest lap of the race. As far as now it's 1:18.962 scored by Cravero. But the top two making a huge gap to the rest of the pack. Cravero is in a second position, but now pulled away they turn in even times. Both Osman and Cravero, they are breaking into the mixed zone. The only part that remained always the Argentinian Grand Prix in Formula One, despite the track layouts on the western side of the circuits. But in the other end of the track is where the changes have always been made. Oh, Lopez spun off again. Somebody Lopez losing loads of ground. This is the replay. Collision with Rafael Reyes, possibly, yes. This wasn't an easy weekend for Jose Maria Lopez. Gali Dosman is now much more comfortable over Cravero. He pulled away. Cravero might have let him go. Have time for 2 or 3 laps. Oh, Reyes with some trouble. His steering is completely gone. Reyes is having some trouble. We don't know if this will bring the safety car or what will happen. But that certainly means trouble for Rafael Reyes. Here is Gali Dosman leading comfortably the race. Matias Cravero has dropped back a bit in sector 2. Osman and Cravero coming into the hairpin. And it's over for Jose Maria Lopez, who came into the pits. And now, second last lap of the race for Gali Dosman and for Matias Cravero, who have given us a really very solid exhibition. And here is Rafael Reyes. The team will have to start working. Oh, and that was the car by Jose Maria Lopez dragged into the track. Now here is Gali Dosman. Will enter the last lap of the race, as this is the last race. The last lap after closing down into the clock. We'll have one more lap. Osman and Cravero had an impressive pace. Look at this. Over 13 seconds, over 12 seconds of gap from second to third. That certainly means it's a huge gap created by all the rest. And now it's Gali Dosman opening the last lap of the race. Last lap for the 38-year-old from Brazil. Heading into the Scotty turn and now entering the mixed zone. And now time to go into the slide after the box turn. And it's now into the last time into the Senna S. The Senna S slide, as it's called. There it is, left and right for Gali Dosman, left and right for Matias Cravero, and time to break into the hairpin for the last time of the race. Gali Dosman is about to take the win in Buenos Aires in race number 1 of TCR South America. Checker flag, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a win for Gali Dosman in Argentina. Second place for Matias Cravero. Extraordinary performance, as now it will be a hell of a battle for the upcoming places into the podium. Juan Angel Rosso will climb into third, and it's Cardoso and Casella side by side, and it's Casella just by inches taking fourth place from Cardoso. Regadas back in sixth, Pernia in seventh place. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our winner. It's Gali Dosman. Matias Rossi couldn't make it into the end of the race. Also, Regadas winning in TCR Trophy in fantastic form. And here is our final standings. Gali Dosman, Matías Cravero and Juan Angel Rosso in the podium. Juan Casella, Pedro Cardoso in fifth. Marcos Regadas, our TCR Trophy winner, ahead of his teammates Leonel Pernia and Rafael Suzuki. Ninth place for Jake Cosio in his debut. Matias Rossi made it home in 10th, in 10th unless, well, Marcio Basso in 10th in the final control we have. Rossi in 11th, then Casagrande, Maglione and Gutierrez. No checkered flag for Lopez, Reis, Vivaco and Fontana. Here is our Parc Ferme entry. And here is the picture on screen of our top three. Gali Dosman wins the race. Second position for Matias Cravero in another podium. A massive break into the series for Cravero. And also Juan Angel Rosso resisting in third place. It's Gali Dosman, the winner of the race. We'll hear from him in a second. But it's been an amazing performance. Cravero also heading into the podium. The drivers will be taken into the podium. Here's our pickup truck with our podium drivers. They will be taken into the podium. And celebration will be unleashed. There are our top three, taken by the series personnel. There's Matias Cravero celebrating with his team, being congratulated by Sebastián Martino from Squadra Martino, team director. There is also Casela, as we have podium drivers for TCR Brazil too. Let's hear from Gali Dosman, the winner of the race. A very important win for to think about in TCR Brazil title, and also winning Buenos Aires. Yeah, we are still alive in the battle. It's been a very difficult race. Cravero had an impressive pace throughout all the weekend. As I focus on myself and no committing mistakes, and we managed to get another win. Now we'll have to calculate tomorrow's and see if we can get TCR Brazil. It's a very nice event, and the podium is in the middle of the stands. That will lead us people getting closer in the stands. A very nice idea to have the podium by there, where usually the main characters of every event, promoters, governments, governors, mayors or similar, used to be seating in those kind of events. In a really, really beautiful podium. And it's been a massive display of racing today, with Gali Dosman and Matias Cravero really battling it out. That's what Cravero used to say, what Osman used to say on Cravero's pace. Very impressive pace from Cravero. Here's our podium. And that's Matias Cravero in second, with his newborn Juan Angel Rosso here in the right side of the screen. Celebrating, and Gali Dosman also. And we have here our podium. Eugenio Prear, the sporting president of the Automobile Club of Argentina, handed the trophies. Ravera lifting the trophy, recognized by his rivals. And our winner, Gali Dosman. Gali Dosman to the camera. Here's our podium. It's time for the champagne. And celebrations is now unveiled. With the champagne. The toast, cheers. And here's our top three. We should have the TCR trophy podium too. That would have Marcos Regadas, Marcio Basso, and Fabio Casagrande. And it's a great display in the podium too, with the TCR trophy. Now Marcos Regadas is winning the series now, the race today. Marcio Basso to his right, to the left on the screen, and Fabio Casagrande on the other end. As Eugenio Breard will hand the trophies again. And the champagne will be now unveiled. Our winner, Gali Dosman. That's Gali Dosman. Our winner of today, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow we'll have race number 2, but it will have the order of the starting grid, of the original starting grid. Juan Angel Rosso here. And now the podium for TCR Brazil, with Osman, Rosso, and Juan Manuel Casella. Giovanni Guerra handed the trophies. And it's Gali Dosman, Juan Angel Rosso, and Juan Manuel Casella in TCR Brazil podium. And this is TCR Trophy Brazil for Marcos Regatas, for Marcio Basso and Fabio Casagrande. Once again, Giovanni Guerra, president of the Confederação Brasileira de Automobilismo. He's handed the trophies. And it is time to go wrapping up in the TCR South America Saturday, as we'll have the champagne for TCR Brazil Trophy Division. It's a massive, massive weekend in Buenos Aires, as we have the highlights of the race. Race number 1. With Osman taking the lead. And leading from lights to flag was Galid Osman, winning this race in Buenos Aires. Rafael Reis was there, and here is Osman, who was now on the way to the win in this really very, very sunny afternoon in Buenos Aires. Argentina will receive us again for race number 2, with Matias Cravero on pole position, as we see the collision between Fabio Casagrande and Leonel Pernia. And it's been a really big, big pleasure to be with you for this race. Tomorrow, race number 2 will be the last one for TCR Brazil. As Jose Maria Lopez had a dreadful afternoon in his debut in TCR South America. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a big, big pleasure to be with you. My name is Francisco Aura. Thanks a lot for being with us. We'll see you back tomorrow with race number 2 of TCR South America in Buenos Aires. Thank you. Enjoy.